today I am going to discuss about the imbalanced data set in the machine learning and how to deal with the imbalanced data set. So let's check. I want to create one classification model which can detect whether the person is a credit card defaulter or the not. So for that I have 10,000 samples. Okay, in the 10,000 samples, when I check the output variable, actual output variable, I get two classes, 0 and 1. 0 means non-defaulters and this is the defaulters. So the non-defaulters I get 9,900 samples and here I get only the 100 samples. So this type of the distribution, if you see between the classes, both classes are not balanced. It means this type of the distribution between the classes in the output variable is called as a imbalanced data set, where the classes are imbalanced. Now question comes, what would be the problem if we use this particular type of the data set to train our machine learning model? So let's check. I have this particular data set which has 10,000 samples. Okay, then I use this particular data set and then divide into the train and test. Then I train our machine learning model with the help of this particular training data, and I created our machine learning model. Now we have to check our machine learning model performance. Then I will use this particular test data and here I will check the accuracy. Normally we used to check the accuracy and my model providing me 90% accuracy. Why it is providing 90% accuracy? Because our most of the model algorithm are designed in such a way that it try to reduce the error and improve the accuracy. Also, if you see here majority classes we have, it means 0 classes we have 9,900 and minority classes we have only 100. So if we will use this type of the data set to train our machine learning model, in that case all the majority class will be classified correctly. So my accuracy is correctly classified classes, it means all the classes. Correctly classified classes, it means all the positive classes, and all the negative classes correctly classified, then all the positive and the negative. All the negative classified will be mostly time will be correctly classified. So we can say 9,000 classes are correctly classified plus positive classes. Positive classes is very less, so might be these will not be correctly classified. So we can say out of 100 I got only 10 correctly classified, then 10,000. So this way we will get the accuracy more than 90%. So if we will use this model, we will say my model is performing well. But in actuality, we are going to create our model to detect the defaulters. How many defaulters my model is able to detect? 10 out of 100. So it is good? I think no, because we get only 10% detection rate. Out of 100, my model is able to detect only 10 classes correctly. My model is able to detect only 10 positive classes correctly. Also precision. Precision is that, I say John is a defaulter. So how precise I am? What is the probability to say that John is a defaulter? So that would also be very less. Let's say 20%. So this way my recall and precision are very less. So my model will not perform better for the positive classes, for which I am gonna create our classification model. It means my main objective will not be satisfied. So that's why we have to make the classes balance. That is the main intention behind the imbalanced classes and why we have to make it balance. There are the different techniques which we use to handle the imbalanced data set, but before that we have to import the imbalanced data set. So for that I am gonna use the credit card defaulter data set. This is the data set. These are the output of this particular data set. These three your input, this is your output. These are the class distribution. If you see, more are the classes belong to the non-defaulters, and these are the defaulter, which is very less. Here I am gonna convert categorical to numerical, this particular student column. Then these are the output, final output. Here I am gonna import the logistic regression model libraries. Here I am creating X and Y, then doing the train test split. Okay, then these are the shape of your bytrain and X train. So if you see in the bytrain, these are the class distribution. This is still imbalanced, so we have to make it balance. Now question comes till here. I have X train and bytrain. Okay, also we have X test and Y test. Okay, now we have to train our model. So what we will do, we will train our model with the help of these two and evaluate our model with the help of these two, right? And we will check the recall, precision and other metrics, right? This is the normal before we can say imbalance technique. Now we will apply the imbalanced mechanism to deal the imbalanced data set. It means imbalanced data set means class distribution, to deal with the class distribution and make it balanced. So on the basis of imbalanced technique, we can train our model in a two way. First way is that we will use these two things, okay, and then we will select these two things and then we will apply the imbalance technique, and then we will get the X train and the bytrain. This bytrain will have the balanced classes. Then we will use to train our machine learning model, and same we will use these two things to evaluate our model performance. First method is that. Second method is that what we will do, we will use these two things, right? What the second method is the cross validation. In the cross validation, we will use the grid search cross validation. Here what we will do, we will do cross validation with imbalance technique, cross validation, imbalance technique, and we will use the estimator, which will use to select the best parameter. All the three things we will use inside the grid search cross validation. By using that, I will get the object of the grid search. Okay, then we will get the best parameter, and here by using this particular object, we will again train our model with the help of these best parameter. Fit will always have the best parameter. In the fit method, what we will do, we will use this particular X train and bytrain and train our model, right? Then what we will do, we will get our trained model and then evaluate with the help of these two things, here. This is the second way, using the cross validation. So both things I am gonna discuss here. First I will tell you what are the different techniques to handle the imbalanced data set, then how we can apply the logistic regression with the help of X train bytrain by using the sample data, then and after that how we can use the cross validation with the help of grid search. So first technique we are going to discuss about the resampling technique. In the resampling technique, what we used to do, this is the minority and the majority classes 10 and 100. So why using the resampling technique, we make minority classes equal to the majority or majority class equal to the minority. It means minority majority or the majority minority. We can say minority will be equal to 10, majority will also be equal to 10, majority will be here 100, so this will also be 100. So this way we use to sampling technique, undersampling and oversampling, and the combination of the both the sampling. So resampling can be categorized in three terms: undersampling, oversampling, and combination of the oversampling and undersampling. So in the undersampling, if you see here, this is the minority class, this is the majority class. We are removing the samples in the majority class and try to make it equal to the minority class, right? 10, 10. Now 100 and 10. Here I am gonna add some samples and try to make minority class equal to the majority class, right? It means 100 and 100. This is the undersampling and this is the oversampling. Now I am gonna create two variable. It means, if you know, I get the X train and the Y train, right? So what I am gonna do, this will have the 0 and 1 both the classes. So in the Y train we can say 0, Y train we can say 1. So all the 0 samples, all the 0 rows will come under this particular variable. All the 1 related rows will come under this particular variable. If you see here, right, 6761 comes under 0 variable and 239 comes under this particular 1 variable.